Your internal, your external stakeholders are critical. What are they saying? I can't address gossip. I can address something tangible about my behavior, which we said, to your point, is that can be changed, in most cases, significant impact. But you have to see, is it prohibiting my success? Is it prohibiting the team's success? And if you're saying that I'm unapproachable, again, where's the source of that information? Jump in.
Rumor and gossip, at a point, they've been around long enough, those particular rumors. I don't think he's unapproachable. I don't think he's very approachable, but at that point, they become fact. They become, part of the atmosphere, the environment that you're in, where, you know what, you're right, Stephanie was unapproachable. And now you have new employees coming in. Oh, you don't want to go talk to him. You want to go talk to John.
But
Carlo.
But I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop you for a second. It's only temporarily though, because until it is proven otherwise, it does not become a fact. Yes.
And that rumor could have started because he could have had a bad day. So it doesn't mean that that's who he is.
To my point, you guys have validated my point. I want to thank you for that. So my point is, until it is proven otherwise. Someone's going to say something here.
I was just going to say, just that he brought that up is saying, he's heard this and he's open to it and he's already made himself more approachable because he brought it up.
Trying to change perception.
Feedback of how can I change that? I think it's great.
Excellent.
I think it's great.
You're going to say something?
I think also too, when people, if you are a respectful person and you need to say something to someone, no one should be unapproachable. You should be able to approach it in a professional, respectful manner and not be afraid to approach someone that everyone perceives as unapproachable.
And I hear your argument, and we're not going to spend too much more time on this. I hear your argument, but from his point of view, is that if he's perceived to be unapproachable, then he's not being as productive or effective as he can be. And that's his problem, and he wants to work on that. So that's key. That's really key. You guys get an 8 on that. Jump in. Last point.
So approachability, I think that's important both on the leadership side and on the staff side.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, a staff member has to be approachable and a manager has to be approachable. And I think we can all speak to this, that I think this is a Chinese wall that kind of exists between leadership and staff in some cases. How do we get that wall to come? How do we get that wall to come down and actually bring the two together so that it's not like you're trying to approach somebody, you're working with them.
And we're going to talk more about this. We've been talking about it. The first thing is noticing the wall. Hello, Berlin, right? First thing is noticing the wall. Then we got to agree on what? Taking down that wall. Okay? We're going to talk about that. Good job. Jump in.
Okay, ours is communication. First, we think you have to be clear on your instructions. Then there has to be reinforcement, follow-up, get feedback to ensure that everyone knows what they're supposed to be doing. And if there's a problem, you're told. And I mean, if you're an open person, feel free to come and, if you have a problem, come and let me know. And you walk the person through. So clarity to us and being open to suggestions and feedback and not take anything personal is the key. On whatever task it is, or generally speaking on your job, we have clarity.
Everyone?
Well, for everybody. I feel like this is all a two-way street. I'm not going to say management, staff.
Excellent.
It's a two-way street.
Excellent.
So you give me clear instructions, I give you clear feedback, and nobody takes anything personal. It's a job. It's not your personal life.
But if they don't give clear feedback, what happens if they don't give clear feedback?
Well, to get communication going, you have to accept it.
Okay.
You have to give it. You have to take it. I mean, and it should work.
You were going to say something?
Yeah, I think also providing different avenues for them to do it. Mm-hmm. Maybe the way you think that you want to get feedback isn't the way they want to give it. So maybe
listen. Someone said that, right? Someone said, I'm so used to I'm always getting an email. I'm always getting a memo, right? I'd rather be talked to in this dialogue first, face to face.
I think that's an effective thing too. Also, we have to use email, but sometimes the personal touch is a little.
And we're going to talk about that. We got that in the last wrap up. You guys get a 9. What you got?
Our third one was consequences. Follow up, but make sure everyone is meeting the guidelines. So I guess we can take away with the whole social loafer guy, there should be consequences to that. It doesn't always have to be negative. I think that we should definitely have a conversation to try to find out what's going on, and we need to make clear goals, and we'll also need to have you say, you know, what you feel, what's happening that is causing you to.
That's actually a 10, my friend. All right, all right. Let's take a seat, move on. Let's take a seat, move on. Okay, so on lunch hour, we're not going to go through this. On our 45-minute, we have this particular exercise. Just take this with you and understand this, because we've done a good job in our wrap-up on this particular topic. How do you positively influence your team's growth? How's your interaction with others? We talked a lot about this in different venues. Please understand the importance of engaging, of dialogue, and asking for feedback. A is not going to be beneficial to anyone in any organization at all. It is a killer of growth, of engagement, and communication. Page 26. Excellent. Talk a little bit about this. I'm going to talk more specifically about minimizing conflict, understanding culture, embracing diversity, and it doesn't have to be in our simplistic understanding of diversity. We should understand age, education, and function as diversity. It's not just about the color, okay? Personality, race, and gender is diversity. Contributing to a productive workplace, maintaining positive relationships, and branding. Branding is something we have not talked about outside of conflict, but branding is something we have not talked about. Branding is, and we're going to do an exercise later, branding is one word or one description that identifies what I bring to the table. If you think of one word that identifies what I want you to believe that I bring to the table, it could be something like commitment. When you think of me, I am committed. If you ask someone about me, I am committed. Another branding word, go-getter. When you ask someone about me, I'm a go-getter. We're going to talk about branding in a second. So you should have something that you want people to identify you as. Go-to person. Communicator. Solutions-driven. Creative. Informative. How do we want to be branded? Branding is key. What are we known for? What do we want to be known for? Very, very important. We're going to talk about that when it comes to branding. I needed to have that conversation on branding. So start thinking about that. Start thinking about your brand. Start thinking about your brand. Talk a little bit about conflict. Everyone needs to feel understood. That's on page 27. Nurtured and supported. But the way in which these needs are met vary widely. Differing needs for feeling comfortable and self create more severe challenges in our personal and professional relationship. We respond to conflicts based on our perceptions, and this is interesting. We talked about perceptions a lot today. We respond to conflicts based on our perceptions of the situation, not necessarily an objective review of the facts. Our perceptions are influenced by our life experiences, culture, values, and beliefs. Oh my God. I need someone to tell me their interpretation of this slide. This is a critical slide. Take it over, young man. Go ahead. You can give me some personal examples if you like, or something that's going to help you. Go ahead.
So 5 minutes ago, and no disrespect to anyone, but okay, so Seth Notes comes out and he says that I feel like I'm unapproachable.
Okay.
And everyone has their faces, whatever you have, and everyone has a different opinion of that. Like for example, I don't think he's unapproachable, but what I do get why people would say that.
Okay.
But then Angela would say, I don't think he's unapproachable at all. And I think that's a different understanding conflict because you have a different role, and he would never be that way towards you, or if he's smart.
Wow.
He's saying it's an interaction with his subordinates, I guess. Or,
Go ahead.
You know, I wouldn't say lower level. In the relationship interaction is completely different than how you and Angela react. So your personal life experience will tell you he's not unapproachable, whereas you won't see it from their point of view. So that's my example.
Wow. Impressive. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So, as an older staff member, I mean, a lot of us are older, and we
Stop. Okay, listen. I'm getting, you know I'm HR getting ready to step in. HR getting ready to step in. Look at you. Stop that. Sure. The word is mature in HR words. Okay?
Individual.
Seasoned.
We've had, you know, say for example, we've worked in different, in corporate America, this, wherever, and we've had different managers or bosses. And so over the years, we have gained experience, like we kind of know what a manager should be. And you have different managers from the different jobs you've had to determine what a manager. So if you, anywhere you go, you're probably going to rate the person, a manager that you have now, based on your experience.
Yes.
And the same thing for everything in life.
Yes.
That's how we know what, even love.
Got it.
You know, you had this first love, then you meet somebody and say, what did I think? Why did I think that? You know, but that's based on experience. So.
And well said. And can I tell you that this slide is critical, even from a perspective, let's look at it from a culture standpoint. Different cultures have different perspectives on different things.
Right.
How often have we heard the mature workforce? Okay? How often have we heard that, I can't believe how these children are being raised these days, back when I were younger, right? And then the younger workers, they can't be in tune with us, right? They believe that excuse me, this is part of their body. I can't leave home without my arm or this unit. But that's not how we believe. Okay? So, very, very important. You're going to say something. Yes.
One of the things that I grew up with is somebody just being honest and looking in the eye.
Good example.
And then all of a sudden I realized, because I was engaged in a few discussions with people who didn't look me in the eye, and then I realized they weren't looking me in the eye, not because they weren't being honest, but because in their culture, it was a sign of disrespect to look you
That's right.
in the eye.
That's right.
And so I would have been operating under the premise of
Absolutely.
what I knew, what I grew up
From
with.
your perceptions.
My learned perception.
Absolutely.
My learned perception.
I have one differently, and here's something interesting. How many Italians do we have in this group? What has been known, just known, about my Italian brethren and sister about things that they do? Mafia. Okay. That's on the more challenging side. I'm talking about something nicer. Very good.
They gesticulate a lot and they're very loving.
Look, talk with their hands. And what else? Touching. Touching. Right? Touching. Really important. Okay? Not again, not all, but that's what's happened. And a lot of the more mature Italians, they do a little bit more of that. Okay? So keep that in mind. Now, we have any Hispanics in the room? Okay? And most Hispanic cultures, when they're greeting each other, what's going on?